Is it time for the Niners to get Robbie Gould, or is that a week away from happening? Or two?
Well, I would do this. If I was John Lynch, I would definitely call Robbie Gould and say, Robbie, look, we love you. Don't could you do this do this for us? If somebody's going to call you and you're on the verge of signing, could you do us a solid and call us first? Could we know, could we at least know before you go somewhere else and see if he was open to that? And then I agree that it may not be the time to get off the Mooney train, but it's getting there, and you're a Super Bowl caliber team. I mean, here's the big question: would you rather have a kicker that you knew was money from 45 and in, or the guy who might be able to make one from 50 to 62? And I would take the guy who's money from 45 in, and I would take the more certain. There's more certainty with Gould than there is with Mooney. With Moody, I like Jake. I've talked to him a few times. I think he's solid. I think he's going to have a nice future. But it's not an either or. You could always say, Jake, you know what? You got a quad. No, I don't. Yeah, you do. Oh, I guess I do. And then go get Gold and go that direction if you wanted to. You don't have to cut him loose. You could say, hey, you're our kicker of the future. You're just not our kicker of the present.
Look, you missing the 54-yarder wide left in the wind, no shame in that.
And
that
at Cleveland, tough place to kick.
No shame in that. Although you did play at Michigan, which is close by, but still it's a tough game. The 41-yarder. I mean, it wasn't on either hash. It was right down the middle. It's 8 yards beyond a point after. It's like, man, you were in your head on that one. I think that's the scary thing about Jake Moody.
Well, that was 54
field goals in one game.
Well, I mean, what bothered me more was that it's one thing if you're like, hey, man, I'm just pushing everything to the right. And he hooked one and pushed one.
And so he overcorrected. To me, that's all in his head. And I don't know. Like, I'm looking at Doug Bryan. He was a rookie kicker on the Niners 94 championship team. He was 15 to 20 that year. Not great. He was 1 for 2 his first game, 1 for 2 his second game, like 1 for 2 in his fourth game. He wasn't great, and they still won the Super Bowl because they scored 49 points against the Chargers. It didn't matter. But I don't know, man. Moody, it's okay. But no more missing 2 in one game. You got to make the 41-yarder. You got to make that. Otherwise, people look at you like you're not mentally ready for this.
Strong enough. I mean, and
also,
Kyle,
you got your whole face, man. You look upset. Smile.
Yeah,
look like you're having fun.
Smile, but I don't know if I'd smile. But here's the other one too. Kyle could have called another play. You could have.
Hey, why did you do that?
You had a timeout.
Why not?
You could have ran it or thrown it to kick it on third down there. You didn't want to get a little closer. I mean, so obviously Kyle felt like 41 yards out is somewhat of a gimme, and it wasn't. So, I mean,
but why not make it even more of a gimme? And I have one more question about Robbie Gould. I think this is important. No one has reported what Robbie's been doing. I'd love to know. Maybe I'll call his agent. What's up with Robbie, man? Is he working out every day? Is he kicking every day? If so, where? Like, what is he doing to be ready to go at a moment's notice if he's called upon? Or is he just chilling with his family and saying, I don't want to play football anymore? We don't even know the answer to that question. I'd like to know. Robbie, where you at? We're doing the bat signal. It's the Robbie Gould signal.
Is there, I would also like to know is, did he leave on good terms, or is there bad blood here? Was there harsh words spoken here, and this is a fracture, and he's really pissed? Because I interviewed him, Grant, literally in the playoffs last year. He loved Schneider, loved Kyle, loved the locker room. Yes, he was an older player with 3 boys at home. And yeah, he was living out of a hotel here, and he probably wanted to go closer to Chicago, but he didn't seem like a guy who was just like, man, I'm done. I
have a suggestion. If there's something personal between them, I got a suggestion. Work it out. It's business.
Work it out. Yeah.
Work it out, man. They'll pay you. I mean, come on, have a conversation, have a beer. Like, Robbie, you're 40 years old. The coach is 43. You can work it out.
Well, and
it's nothing that $5 million won't fix. Robbie, what's going on, man? I don't understand that. What you want a kicker, he wants money. What's going on?
And I don't want. I've heard people go, well, if you did that to Jake, that would ruin him. This is pro football, man. No, I don't care about anybody's feelings. I don't care about my own feelings, and I sure as hell don't care about the kicker's feelings.
It's business.
And it's business. And I'll say this: the Niners are at that point, and I think they would admit it if you ask John or Kyle or Jed or Parag or anybody, that no excuses are going to be acceptable excuses for why they fall short of their goal. And if you're going to have that kind of bottom line oriented approach, then you're going to do all these things and everything that you're going to do this year, and you're going to lose because you went with a rookie kicker that wasn't up to it. No,
because you got cute. Because you got cute,
and you wanted to save
$3 million.
What's it going to cost? $3
million. Like, come on, you just made the cap space. You just brought in Randy Gregory. You're saying like, spare no expense. This is our year. We're going for it. Like, we can't wait on Drake Jackson. Why are you waiting on Jake Moody? It's an important position. Kickers score a lot of points. Come on, man. He just cost you one game. One. How many more games is Jake Moody going to cost you? Is one of them going to be a playoff game? Because if it is, you're going to really regret this. You're going to regret this for the rest of your life, because this is a season that the Niners can't waste. This is their shot. It's the best shot they've had in a long time. You never know if you're going to have a better shot down the line. It's football. Players get hurt and retire all the time. This is it. Don't let Moody be the reason. He looks like he's like, how did I get myself in this situation? Robbie Gould's my idol. Like, he's great. I have to replace Robbie Gould. Brock Purdy's replacing Jimmy Garoppolo's the easiest thing in the world. I have to replace Robbie. That's not fair. Wait a second. Like, that's what he looks like to me. And I would understand that. So, yeah, sign Robbie Gould. I got another question for you.
Wait, how many more weeks do you think they will actually go before they said, you know what? We can't do this
reactionary.
Anymore.
I think they're reactionary. If he loses them another game next week, I think it's over. And I said the same thing about Brock Purdy, but I don't expect either one. I mean, I think Moody has more of a chance to melt down.
Brock's got more of a rope than Jake.
Yeah, probably. I have a feeling that Kyle has a short rope with a lot of people, and he's probably more negative in private than he is in person. And I can only imagine what he said to Jake Moody after this game, because I don't think Kyle's the kind of guy who goes to a player, puts his arm around him, and is like, hey, you're going to get him next time. We saw what you did. We're going to fix this out. We're in it together. I think Kyle's the kind of guy who puts you on notice. And probably that's because his dad was like that too. I don't know. That's just the sense I get. Kind of guy who puts you on notice, keeps it real, and hopes that brings out the best in you, when sometimes maybe psychologically it doesn't. It just makes people press.
The other thing is, if you're a Niner fan, stop trying to read the tea leaves on quotes. They're going to support this guy right up until Robbie Gould passes his physical and is standing on the practice field. I mean, they're going to be like, Jake's our guy, Jake's our guy, Jake's our guy. They're going to say that all the way until Robbie's literally, Robbie's right there, and he passed his physical, and he's ready to go, and
Well, he was our guy, but now Robbie's our guy. Steve M says Gould was hurt, missed a lot of games, move on. Okay. Legendary answers. Niners says fired Jake Moody, go get RG for show. Real talk. Steve M says Gould is more annoying than Trey talk. Gould talk. Okay. Steve M says other kickers out there. What's wrong with Robbie Gould, man? What's wrong with Robbie? I don't understand what's wrong with Robbie Gould.